Good afternoon, YouTube, and welcome back to Fat Cat Collections. And today I want to share with you guys another fantastic watch by a company that I've reviewed in the past. It's a company that I've been working with for a little while now, and I own a few of their watches, and the company is called, not Invicta, Watchstar. Watchstar is really coming out with some amazing timepieces. Now, again, that is very subjective. Everybody's going to like something different. But Watchstar, I think, is really one of the few companies that you can find out there making pieces that are really quite unique. That aren't just watches, they're pieces of art. And that's one thing I've always liked and appreciated about Invicta and some of the Aragon watches, that they just are always pushing the envelope on creating something that's really unique. It's going to get noticed, and it's going to really bring, you know, this whole hobby of watch collecting up to a different level. Now, again, that is very subjective. Some of you guys out there hate Invicta. Some of you guys hate Rolex. I like all watches. Do I think that some of the watches out there are kind of a ripoff? Yeah, but I think with brands like this, I think you get a lot of watch for your money and you get a story on your wrist. So the one I want to share with you guys today is the Automaton. This is one of the Watchstar's newest releases. Watchstar is owned by the Exo Watch Group, which owns Renato and Exoskeleton, two other brands, which I don't have any of those in my collection yet, but I definitely want to get a couple eventually. I think that they really I think that Renato is kind of a brand almost creating this big over-the-top kind of dive watch style themed design. Even kind of, I saw them before Invicta. So I think the company's definitely been around, definitely been ahead of their time for some of the unique pieces, and they just keep really pushing the envelope. So this is the Automaton. Now, I have reviewed this watch in a mirror polished stainless steel or combo hybrid stainless steel mirror polished brushed finish watch the other day in the Golfer's Edition. And what this watch does is basically they have, again, two different variations, the Samurai Edition or the Golfer's Edition. And on the hour, every hour, this watch comes alive. And what happens is, and you can actually activate it yourself because, let's face it guys, and I'm glad they put this feature in the watch because people are going to ask it and you're going to want to show it off. I mean, let's face it, if you like Invicta watches, you like attention and you like people to notice and you like to talk about it. You like to share your hobby. People ask you, hey, what is that? That thing is, wow, it's huge. You know, what kind of watch is that? And you can talk about it. So let's see what happens when you press the crown on this bad boy. Pretty awesome. I mean, isn't that cool? So both editions, the Golfer Edition, the golfer will actually swing and putt a golf ball into the hole as the gal pulls back the flag. I'm not a golfer, hopefully I'm saying that correctly. This is obviously a samurai scene. And so what happens is when you press that crown, again, well, I reactivated it. So what's going to happen, it's going to go into its activation scene every hour on the hour, and then it's just go back and go to the current time, which I don't have this set to the current time right now. That's basically what's going to happen. 316L stainless steel case. This is done in a yellow gold tone, obviously. The variations on this are going to be silver, rose tone, and yellow tone. With the Golfer Edition, I will put a link to both of these in the description. So if you want to pick up the Golfer Edition or check out the golfer video, that's more your cup of tea. I love the Samurai Edition because I'm not a golfer, but they have two different versions depending on which one you may like. And what I love about this watch is they've really incorporated their Watchstar branding all the way through this beautiful bracelet. You have a dual deployant clasp, so this is great because it actually hides the clasp. I mean, within reason, you can barely see the two push buttons right here on the sides, and you get that full bracelet look without having, you know, the band disrupt with the clasp. It really is almost like a hybrid bracelet slash watch. The bracelet on this here is 27 millimeters thick. The watch is 48 millimeters at the crown. So for a bracelet to be that thick on a watch, you don't see a lot of watches like that. In the watches I have in my collection, very few have a case, a bracelet that's this large in relation to the size of the case. So you get a really big bracelet presence on your wrist, and it really is a flashy looking timepiece. This does have a sapphire crystal. It is got an anti-reflective coating on the inside. It does have a screw-down case back, which on this particular one, you can see it has a samurai right in the back of the case, which is, I think, absolutely beautiful. A little bit of information. It does mention sapphire crystal. It mentions Automaton, the brand of the watch. You do have 330 feet or 10 ATMs of water resistance on this piece. And it is a limited edition of 500 pieces. This one is number 24. Again, these are on loan from Watchstar for me to share with you guys and help them build some brand recognition, because it's a brand that really I would consider it like a micro brand. Like they don't really do a lot of advertising. And there's only a few places I've seen these available. Mainly they sell on eBay. And I don't want that to discourage anybody, because just because a brand sells on eBay, eBay is really a great platform for, you know, brands to come out with these, you know, brands that don't have storefronts, brands that aren't going to, you know, deal with huge volume and sell to big distributors like Macy's or any of those, you know, big box stores. And, you know, let's face it, I don't want to buy a watch from a place like that anyway. I want something unique. I don't want a watch on my wrist that everybody, when you know, you go to a bar, you go to a restaurant, you go to work, wherever, that everybody's going to have, you know. I mean, let's face it, we see diesel watches everywhere, and there's nothing wrong with diesel watches. I have one of the Big Daddies. I mean, they're great, and yes, we see Invicta watches everywhere too, but for the most part, when I go around places, I don't see a lot of people wearing Invictas. I really don't. And that's mainly because you don't have a big brick and mortar store. You know, a watch like Invicta, even though it's a huge brand, they sell millions and millions of dollars worth of watches every year, you don't see a lot of people wearing them. And I've dealt, you know, in previous jobs with thousands and thousands of people. And you every now and then you see a couple people wearing them. So a watch like this is great because you're going to get something very unique and something very, I think, very cool. So let's talk a little about the watch movement. This is a watch movement by a brand called Soprod, S-O-P-R-O-D. They are a Swiss-made movement. I kind of compare those, and this is just my opinion, I kind of compare that a little bit to like a Ronda. Ronda makes a lot of the movements that Invicta uses. So this brand, Watchstar, they outsource their movements, but I noticed they use some seagull movements in a few of their watches. I think there's some Yodas. And this brand is, I think, the only time they've used this particular movement. Now, Soprod is actually owned, to the research that I've done, that I looked up online, by Citizen. So Citizen owns many different, you know, watch brands and obviously movements now. So I think anything that Citizen owns, I think it's a pretty reliable brand. You know, they've been around a long time, so at least you're getting a movement. You know, some people say, well, it's not an in-house movement, or this brand doesn't have in-house. You know, and I think it's great that a watch company actually lets the movement company do what they do best, and then they can focus on the styling, kind of like what Invicta does. So let me show you a little bit more about the watch before I just tell you a little bit more specifics. There's not really much to tell about the watch. Again, you do have the sapphire crystal, screw-down case back, not screw-on case back, which I gotta tell you is something I really like on this because it's very easy to change the battery yourself. Definitely do it on an area where you're not going to lose any screws. I always have kind of like a nice clean workstation where I can do this when I am going to change any batteries. But screw on case backs, although you're going to get a lot more water resistance, I don't really care. I'm not a diver, so, or you know, and I don't really swim with these watches. So I like the idea of being able to change the battery with ease. This is something that anybody could change the battery with without having to run to a jeweler. Just be careful with the screws because you don't want to lose any of those, you know. But very simple, and I was very careful, and I actually swapped the batteries around because this one here, I think the battery that came in this was a little bit low on charge, and I swapped it with the Golfer's Edition, and now I was able to get it to work and come to life because before it wasn't actually functioning. And so I just don't think that the battery had enough juice in it. I can kind of tell that this here, based on some of the other videos I've seen, that this watch, normally the Samurai move a little bit faster. I think I've seen that in another video, and I've shared this watch just kind of helped the company get a little exposure on the YouTube channel. This is the first time I've actually had to get this watch in my hands, and I just absolutely love it. I love the bracelet. Anytime that Watchstar puts a bracelet, and I wish they would do more, like the Superstar, I mentioned the other day to the owner, I said, you gotta do a Superstar Gen 2 with a bracelet, you know, and although I don't mind, you know, like the Watchstar I have, the Superstar Gen 2, it's got the rubber band bracelet or the silicone or whatever it's made of. I'm always going to be a bracelet guy. They're just a lot flashier. I feel like I'm actually wearing a watch that's got substance to it, and I really hope that they do this with some of their other watches because anytime they do a band, it's really over the top, and you can just see. I mean, they just. Every link is that Watchstar logo. It's super flashy. The watch is definitely one that's going to get noticed on your wrist. So as far as price point, this one here, this is not available yet on eBay. It is available on a few different, I've seen it on one different website. I am not contracted with, you know, that particular website. And so generally when I review a product and I have an agreement with the manufacturer or seller, whether I buy something or not, usually, you know, I'll put my affiliate link in the description. If you find the video helpful and you want to make a purchase, you do it through the link. It does help support the channel. It does help to give me a small commission on anything that you buy. And let me tell you, when I say small, it's pretty small. But it keeps the ball rolling, keeps me motivated to keep pushing. But with this other company that Watchstar is contracted with, I'm not going to mention it because I don't have the affiliation. So what I want to suggest to you guys is because this watch is not available yet on eBay, which is normally where I would refer you for the Golfer Edition, which is available. If you want to make a purchase, you can do it directly through the manufacturer. And I definitely stand behind the owner of the company. I mean, he's really good about getting back to people. I know one guy bought a watch the other day. He shared his experience. I guess they had forgot to send him they sent him the box, and he bought it from a different, I'm again not going to mention where he got it from, but they didn't send him the beautiful box that comes with this. And this actually comes with a beautiful gloss white Watchstar box. It's a really nice presentation. I don't have it in front of me now. I have it in storage because it came with my Watchstar. Again, you guys know I'm not really a big watch box guy. I always keep everything under lock and key. But it is a nice presentation. If you're buying this for a gift or for yourself, you are going to really appreciate the beautiful hardwood watch box and that white piano gloss finish with the Watchstar logo. It is very nice. If you want to see the box, you can check out my video. Just go to my playlist, look for Watchstar, and check out the Gen 2 Superstar, and you can see the example of that there. But but my point to that was that the guy, you know, basically emailed the company. He included me in the link and or in the email, CC'd me, and they were able to get that back to him. So it's definitely the kind of smaller company that you're going to get results if you have any kind of issues. And if you want to make a purchase, I recommend doing it directly through the manufacturer. Do it through XO Watch Group. Do it through Watchstar Direct. And you can do that. If you're interested in making a purchase and you think it's something you want to get, go ahead and drop me an email. My email address is fatcatcollections@gmail.com. Drop me an email. I'll have the owner go ahead and send you an invoice with everything documented on what you're going to be receiving, and you can make a purchase directly through him and probably get it for a little bit of a discount as well, because the price on these are kind of fluctuating. Sometimes they'll put like at least a Golfer Edition on a bid. This one again is not available, but the bids are right now. There's a Golfer Edition in the silver stainless steel for $446. 3 days left. Up 12 bids, $446. It's probably going to go up from there. The gold version of that watch, $798, 0 bids. So just kind of depends on, you know, how much you want it and who else may want it. So, but through the manufacturer, I can guarantee you're probably going to get the best price. And again, if I can help you in any way, definitely let me know. So I've rambled on a little bit there, but I do want to share with you guys one last thing, and I encourage you to check out the links in the description. I'll put where you can get a little bit more information. This particular movement here it's what they say about it. It's a Swiss-made movement that is, again, remember, Swiss-made doesn't necessarily mean the watch is made in Switzerland. It means the movement falls within that standard to be called Swiss-made. And I'm not going to go into, you know, I have to look it up again. I've looked it up before, but remember, Swiss-made really is kind of meaningless nowadays. It really doesn't mean what it used to. You're getting, you know, the tooling has gotten so good, manufacturing has gotten so good, micro components have gotten so good. It's a different world than it was when that actually meant something. A guy doesn't have to be, you know, a master horologist or master watchmaker to really produce. You know, you don't have to have that nowadays to get something of great quality that you're gonna be very happy with. So just kind of keep that in mind. So again, that's really about it with it. It's a Swiss-made movement. It's an A007WS with 5 programmable micro motors. That's kind of a tongue twister. That's how you get all that movement, whether it's the Golfer Edition or the Samurai Edition. Sapphire crystal, 330 feet of water resistance, and again, rose tone, yellow tone, or silver plating. They call it a platinum plating. I think it's just polished slash brushed stainless steel. I don't think it's actually plated, but don't quote me on that. Some folks get a little leery about plating. I haven't had any bad luck with any of my plated watches. And let's face it, unless you buy something really high-end or a luxury brand, you're not going to get a solid gold watch. So just keep that in mind. So it will fit up to a 9-inch wrist is what it says on here. Price on this one here, you're going to be paying about $1,000 to $1,500, again, depending on where you get it. And again, if you want to make a purchase, let me know. I'll see what I can do for you. So that's about it, really, in a nutshell. I mean, it's a decorative. There's not a lot of complications on it. You just have time. This beautiful automation that happens on every hour, and just a watch that's definitely going to get noticed, and it's a conversation piece for sure. So enough about me telling you about how much I like the watch. Let's go ahead and throw it on the wrist. Now, I did actually size this one just because I wanted to kind of wear it around the house a little bit, where I wasn't going to wear it out or scratch it up or anything like that. Just kind of get an idea of how it felt on the wrist. It's very comfortable. I like the fact that the lugs really hang right around your wrist. I have a 7-inch wrist. I weigh about 180 pounds, and I'm about 5'7". So again, this is a 27mm bracelet. You can see it's really thick. It has a real nice wrist presence and a 48mm face. So the bracelet really, I mean, it's really noticeable. When you start getting a lot like a big sea hunter at 58mm, the bracelet just kind of becomes a secondary part of the watch. Whereas this, it's about 50% of the watch. It really is quite substantial. I think it's absolutely stunning, and I love when they put a bracelet on their watches. So this is what it looks like again on my wrist. You can see 48mm. I know sometimes we get desensitized and we're thinking, oh, 48, that's not big, but if you're used to a big, large watch, again, that bracelet really makes the watch feel like it's much larger, and it just gives it a much bigger, more pronounced wrist presence, just due to all that, especially in the gold. All that logo, all that branding, all the gold. I mean, it's just a stunning piece. Absolutely beautiful. I mean, you got to think about all the different components to make all that come alive and work. Pretty wicked. I mean, look at that. I mean, I can't really think of any watches out there, any brand that really does anything quite like that. I know, like a lot of the, there are watches like Jacob and Companies, which are extremely expensive, that have made some really interesting, beautiful timepieces. You want to spend $1 million, you got that kind of money to do it, great. But I mean, for the average guy, this is what the average guy wears. It's affordable, it's obtainable, and it's a stunning piece. I mean, even look at it from this distance, you really can't tell what's going on with the watch, but it just has a beautiful wrist presence. And this kind of watch, again, that I said before, some Invictas are so big that and I love them, don't get me wrong, but like I wouldn't wear a giant Sea Hunter if I was going to like a dinner, not that I go out anywhere like a dinner work conference or anything like that. It's not I don't do that in my job, but it's or a job interview for that matter. I wouldn't wear a big Sea Hunter just because it is so over the top. It doesn't really fit with, I think, just a traditional business attire. Now, I've seen some of you guys on the Facebook groups that are really well dressed. Some of you folks, when you're going to the Sunday church, I mean, man, you're getting pimped out, and it works for that that particular look. But if you're going to be somewhat business casual, I think the Invictas, some of them are a little bit too large for that particular setting. There's flashy dressed up, and then there's conservative dressed up. And so on this kind of watch, you can wear really with jeans. You can wear it with you can wear it super dressed up, flashy dressed up, pimped out, or just standard business attire. It's beautiful, it's stunning. It's a great company. I definitely encourage you guys to check out the brand. So I'll put what links I have in description. I want to thank Watchstar again for their generosity and send me some of these watches to share and put them on loan and share them with you guys on the channel. Let me know if I can help you guys in any way if you want to make a purchase or if you just need information. My email address is always in the description of every single video. Links are always in the description of every single video where you can get it from the most reliable, best sellers for the best price. And I'm always here to help you guys. Drop a comment. Let me know what you think of the watch. If you like the content, do subscribe to the channel. Click the bell to be notified anytime I upload a new video. That's the only way you're going to know when I put up a new video. Because I got 14,058 subscribers now. And sometimes when I put up a video, I'm not getting 14,000 views, which I know, it's YouTube. It's kind of, some people subscribe for different reasons. So, but definitely, click the bell, be in the know. If you're subscribing anyway, you want to know when I put a new video. It's a great way to be informed. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching. Happy Halloween, and you guys have a great evening. Take care.